Vincent, can I help?
It's so clear you cannot help. And when you leave, and everyone always leaves, I will be left once more with an empty heart and no hope.
My experience is that there is, surprisingly always hope.
What's going on, my geeks? I'm Kakui Otaku, and welcome to Home Base Serenity, where today I'm doing another season wrap-up video to give my thoughts on Chapter 2, Season 1 for both modes of Fortnite. As with Season X, I have spent a significant amount of time in both modes this season, so I wanted to go over my thoughts about both. With this season being the longest in the history of the game, it was even more controversial than Season X was. However, I do feel like I have a different opinion than most players have had this season. For Save the World, even though I am actually confident in my skills in the end game,
that up there, that's the end game.
I still didn't have the issues with lack of content that other players have had. I still have plenty to do and plenty of goals to reach. And even though I know how important it will be for Save the World when we finally get the completed locker, I'm also not as upset about the locker delay as other players. I trust that Epic is just trying to make it as perfect as it can be. And if I thought last season was my best season ever in the other mode,
let me tell you something.
Last season was nothing compared to this season. I don't want to spoil anything for the rest of the video.
Spoilers.
But I will say that I have had the most fun I have ever had playing Battle Royale this season. And even though I feel I have gotten significantly better and am more confident with myself, I am still an absolute bot.
Useless.
Told you.
So let's talk about that first. And the reason I have gotten significantly better is probably the most controversial topic about this season for Battle Royale: the further implementation of skill-based matchmaking and the introduction of actual AI-controlled bots.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
With skill-based matchmaking, we also got forced cross-play, so console players were in the same lobbies with players of similar skill that were on PC.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
This hasn't been a huge issue for me, honestly, but it's also one of the reasons they had to implement actual bots to fill out the lobbies. They also said the main point of the bots was to help players with less skill gain some confidence.
You can do it!
And the more you played, the more you realized what the signs of an AI bot were. Terrible aim, building a single wall and then breaking it down, or farming through walls and or floors even when they are near an enemy. And there were other signs too. Bots were meant to improve as they, quote, learned from real players throughout the season, which we did see, as bots were eventually able to build ramps and pyramids too. And as you got better, you would have fewer and fewer bots in your lobbies. I had a lot of fun playing around with the bots this season, even though a few did get a few lucky shots on me with a burst rifle. And nothing makes you feel more like a bot yourself than dying to a bot.
I hate myself.
But skill-based matchmaking wasn't even the biggest change this season. Chapter 2, Season 1 of Battle Royale saw us given a brand new map to explore and fight on. And this new map was also incredibly aesthetically pleasing. I loved the old map and never thought I would like another map, but once I got used to this one, I honestly prefer it. I know a lot of people miss the old map, and I miss certain locations on that old map, but I'm perfectly content with this one.
I like living here.
I feel like it's better for my playstyle as we have lots more places to hide on this map compared to the original map. And this new map didn't just give us new places to hide. Oh no. On this new map, we had new mechanics, new items like the bandage bazooka, we had the ability to fish and swim, we had some mobility with the motorboat, and again the swimming, and the smallest weapon and loot pool that we have ever had. And while I know that last point was an issue for most players,
No, don't like that.
I honestly love the simplicity of it. I think we got to the point where we had way too many items in the previous chapter, so it was hard to find what you really wanted. All I personally need is a good tac shotgun, a scar, a sniper, and some heals, and I'm set. Maybe a rocket launcher if I'm feeling cheeky. And I was able to get a scar, my favorite gun in the entire game period, so much more often this season, especially thanks to the new upgrade benches.
We have been upgraded.
I could find a green or blue AR and then upgrade it to a scar by paying in some of all three materials. The initial cost was pretty steep, but they lowered it a few weeks ago, and it feels so much better now. But that's not all I loved about this season. I'm finishing up this season just over level 400. And a lot of that is down to finishing all of the challenges and almost all of the prestige stretch goals, except for that ridiculous catch 250 weapons from fishing spots.
This class is ridiculous.
Very good.
And I also made sure to finish my punch card every day. On top of all that, I think winning a few victory royales might have helped a bit too. In the Season X wrap-up video, I said that I was proud to be able to say that I have had at least one solo victory royale every season since Season 3, with the exception of Season 8. Before Season X, the most wins I had ever gotten in a single season was 2. Then I got 6 in Season X. And that 5th one as Batman was my best ever. I can honestly say that I've had the most fun I have ever had in solos this season, and it was definitely the mode I played the most. I started this season with 16 lifetime solo wins. I went on this season to get so many victory royales that I decided to get wins with all of my favorite skins, including the skins from the Star Wars and DC crossover events this season. In fact, I got so many that I can't show you all of them, even though I recorded them all. But what I can do is show you that no matter how hard it got, like the true Save the World player I am, I stood and fought.
Build your bed, believe you can, and we will stand.
before I reveal the final number, I want to bring special attention to one of my favorite items that we got this season, the lightsabers. During the Star Wars crossover event, these lightsabers not only helped me get several wins, but they also helped me tie my best ever solo win, as one of my 2 wins with Kylo Ren was an almost lightsaber only win with 5 eliminations on real players. I think it goes without saying that I loved having lightsabers in the game, and I wish they'd been around longer. So I said earlier that I was used to getting 1 or 2 wins in a season before getting the 6th in Season X. This season, I've gotten 2 in a single day multiple times, some of them even in back-to-back matches. There's even been a few times I've gotten 3 in a day, like this past weekend when I got back-to-back wins with Dark Vanguard, and then the Reaper, followed by Overtaker later on. Then, the next day, I got a second win with Branded Brigadier that was actually kind of funny. And then had a similarly funny ending to my next win later that day as Raven. And this specific win with Raven was my 70th solo victory royale of the entire season, meaning I now have 86 lifetime solo victory royales. My best friend and I also had our best season as a duo this season, as we both won at least 30 duos matches together. And I also won duos matches with CJ. Then of course, I also had a great season in squads, when my best friend and I would squad up with CJ, and even Death Grip a couple of times near the end of the season.
Crushed it.
Now this battle pass was not the greatest, especially coming off of Season X, but I still really liked a few of the skins, especially Hazard and Antidote, the purple version of Remedy vs. Toxin. Now there was no live event this season, and Epic really didn't communicate too much or add a lot into the game.
Would it kill you to say something?
I was honestly perfectly fine with the fact that they didn't add a lot into the game throughout the season like they had in previous seasons, and I'm indifferent about the live event. There's part of me that was glad there wasn't a live event because I needed that time to get this video and the last one that I uploaded to the channel ready, but I also really enjoy these live events, so that's why I'm kind of in the middle. As for the communication bit, well, that's actually a great place for a transition to Save the World, as this is a Save the World channel after all.
Anyway.
Overall communication for both modes of the game was severely lacking this season when compared to other seasons. And I think that is possibly one of the worst things about this season. It started off with a roadmap at the beginning of the season detailing what was coming in version 11, version 11.10, and their various content updates, and then teased what was coming in version 11.20 and onward. This roadmap seemed like it was outlining what had the potential to be the best season we have ever had in Save the World, and they got so close to it being exactly that, if it weren't for a few huge issues that arose throughout the season. So I want to get the issues out of the way first.
Give me the damn veggies.
At launch, all we got was a new soldier, the return of Plague Dr. Igor, and the first iteration this season of some fixes for the AFK and leeching issues. We had some issues with the initial AFK and leeching fix, as it was being overly aggressive and kicking people even from private matches. But Epic did eventually fix it. It's not completely fixed yet, but it is significantly better. In the last season wrap-up video, I mentioned that the problem Epic faced with any fix to the AFK and leeching issue is that it would be abused by the very players it was intended to punish. And I was right.
I could have told you that was going to happen. Hang on. No, wait, I did.
The way the AFKers and leechers abused the new fix was by spamming gas traps over spawns, so they still got combat score, and even got better rewards sometimes compared to players who were playing the way we are intended to play. This is part of what led to some later changes in the season, as well as some upcoming changes in the next season that we are already aware of. But the changes this season were a part of the big meta shift that occurred with version 11.30. With version 11.30, Epic nerfed the gas traps by making them have a tighter focus and removed their ability to do damage over time. They also nerfed the effectiveness of wall launchers and floor launchers. Not only would husks in general no longer receive fall damage from being launched, the launchers were also less effective against smashers. Wall launchers only push a smasher maybe a tile, and floor launchers have no impact at all. On top of all of that, smashers were now much more aggressive. I'm gonna wreck it! And Propane started throwing their tanks as soon as they hit 30% health, causing major issues with trap tunnels. This was a huge meta shift at the worst possible time, as not only did it happen right before Epic went on Christmas break, it also happened at the same time as the re-release of Fortnite. Fortnite 2018 will always be one of my most treasured memories of this game. It was right as I was getting into the game and understanding how it worked. It also led to the development of my friendship with CJ, as he and I met on the Latana Discord when I needed someone to help me get through the weekly challenges. We ended up playing it every week, and we always had such a blast.
Did we just become best friends? Yep!
So you can understand how excited we both were that it was coming back this year, and then just how disappointed we were that the meta shift completely ruined Fortnite.
Disappointed!
It's nothing like the original. In fact, it was so bad that we only played it a couple of times. This footage you're watching right now was just recorded a few days before the end of the season, because that is how little I played it. I didn't actually have any footage for this video. We were all so excited that it was coming back, and Epic just dropped the ball.
Alright, I'm gonna go cry.
Plus, almost all of the rewards were just returning content, except for a few bows, which honestly aren't all that amazing anyway. And version 11.30 was really just the beginning of the issues. It was the first update that was just so close to being perfect, but had a huge flaw. While version 11.40 brought a new quest line to the game that rewarded us with a new game-changing team perk, it also brought with it server issues and account wipes.
This is the worst!
Many players had issues where they would lose connection to the servers and get sent back to the initial tutorial mission, but they actually still had all of their weapons and schematics and everything. If a player completed the tutorial though, that was where the issue came in, as for some people, the game assumed you were a new player and removed everything from your backpack and storage. Thousands of hours of work for some people just gone. And to make matters worse, Epic didn't show any kind of warning in-game.
Tell me!
If you didn't use Twitter or Reddit, or if you didn't follow Save the World content creators during this time, you had no idea this was even happening. In the end, they did reward anyone impacted by these issues very handsomely, but it was still a huge issue that shouldn't have happened. And they really needed to do a better job of communicating these issues. Then, of course, version 11.50, which was one of the most devastating updates to the community. After months of expecting the full locker completion by the end of the season, Epic finally broke their silence about it and advised that there had been some issues and the locker would not be complete before the end of the season.
Why are you the way that you are?
And that they were now aiming for update version 12.10. This really upset a lot of the community to the point where I felt even I had to address it in a video. And my main thesis of that video was that I still have hope.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
And I still do even now. Like I said, every single update this season had the potential to be great for us. Just the later ones had one huge flaw with each update that kept it from being perfect. But if we look back and take a look at the bigger picture, we can really see just how incredible this season was overall. With version 11.10, Fort Nightmares returned, with multiple new mini quest lines each week that were all achieved in their own biome. I don't have any footage of this biome, unfortunately, but it was a very well done and very unique biome. And the content update before that gave us the Haunted Hotel questline, which awarded the meta-changing Outlander Willow. And this was another quest line that was done in its own biome with its own unique missions and quests. Then in version 11.20, one of the biggest updates to the game for late game players, we got the mythic Storm King. There was now a Storm King at the end of Twine Peaks intended for players that were power level 122 and above, and beating him once per week after doing a quest in a power level 140 zone would grant you a schematic for the first ever mythic weapons. And these weapons are honestly some of the most fun and meta-changing weapons we have ever gotten.
Fun.
Plus, it's just a lot of fun to go after the Mythic Storm King. I have been blessed enough to get the entire set, 3 duplicates in the book, and have 2 duplicates in my inventory. I might put the duplicate AR in the book, but I'm not sure yet. I was even blessed to earn my first on stream on day 1 thanks to a carry from Demon Joe France, Death Grip, and Bad Skull.
Let's go! Yes! Let's go, boys!
Yeah.
Yes!
Let's go. Easy claps, bruh.
Yes! Oh my god!
Let's go.
Yes, dude!
He dead! Yo, he dead!
Let's go!
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my god!
Rocket Ride me.
Special thanks to anyone who has squatted up with me to go against the Mythic Storm King each week since, including CJ, Death Grip, Cat, Dabin, Nilek Dreams, X Samantha, and Wisteria Blues, a random that Death Grip, CJ, and I found the day before store reset last week.
You know what? You're awesome.
I can't wait to see what else comes from the Mythic Storm King, including if they decide to make more weapons to put in the loot pool. Outside of Willow, we also got at least 3 other game and meta-changing heroes this season, as the second content update for version 11.10 brought us Arlene Itza. We had the promo that brought us Razor, and later the less useful Korohomura, and then the most meta-changing update, the Misfit Toys questline at version 11.40, which gave us Jilly Teacup and the brand new Happy Holidays perk. I think my love for this team perk is very well on record on this channel, as I made 2 loadout and challenge sets based around this team perk, and even completely redid my Raven build to use it as well. The ability to lower your ability cooldowns by 40% alongside any other ability cooldown reduction perks has led to a lot of fun loadouts, including giving rebirth to the Reclaimer.
Mother of God.
Also, with version 11.20, we got one of the most fun game modes we have had in the history of Save the World with the new Dungeons mode. I played this mode a lot this season, had so much fun with it. The entire idea of the mission was completely different from anything we'd seen before, and having 4 different dungeons to explore made it even more fun. Each different dungeon had their own quirks and difficulties, and I loved them all. And playing dungeons has also helped me earn my first ever endgame banner, as I was able to successfully complete all 4 dungeons at power level 140, granting me the power level 140 dungeons banner, which is one of my 2 favorite banners from the entire season, right alongside my level 400 banner from Battle Royale. Dungeons are going away with the end of this season, but we have been told that they will be back. I just hope they don't wait for next Halloween to bring them back.
Get back in here! Get back in here and love me! Ah!
So honestly, I know this season was a long season, but when we really look back and take a look at the big picture, like I said earlier, there was a ton of great content for both modes. It was just stretched out across 4 months, so it seemed like we were getting less than normal. And plus, for Battle Royale, almost all of your content was given to you on day 1, rather than being given throughout the season. Then there were the issues with certain updates that made them feel like terrible updates overall, even though they really weren't. But I still think this was an absolutely great season, and I cannot wait to see what the next season holds. My biggest hope for the next season is just that we get more communication from Epic overall. I would love to see the unvaulting of patch notes, and for the Save the World team to communicate more when they know there's an issue. Both teams used to be so great about communicating with the players, and I just really hope Chapter 2 Season 2 brings that back. I'm putting this together before the new season begins, so I honestly don't know what Epic has in store for us. We've started to get our normal preseason teasers, which hint at something gold for Battle Royale.
I love gold!
Either way, I am so excited for what we are getting with this new season that starts today, and I can't wait to see what they have in store for us in both modes. That's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you all enjoyed it. I tried to throw in more references and memes throughout to make up for the lack of them in the last few videos. I do intend on always putting them in, but if the video is more serious or is intended to be more informational or educational, it doesn't necessarily always feel right. So if you liked what you saw in this video, please make sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're watching this video and you're not already subscribed, please consider hitting that subscription button and the notification bell so you can see each new video as soon as it goes live. Coming up on the channel in the future will be some more early game guides, some special loadout videos, a special challenge with Death Grip, and of course the Twine Peaks SSD series once we figure out what version 12 is going to do for the spawn points in Twine Peaks. Now, I would love to know what you all thought of the season. If you have a different opinion from mine or had something else that you loved or disliked about the season, please leave a comment down below telling me what you thought about the season as a whole. As always, special shoutouts to my favorite Save the World content creators, both past and present: Latana, Demon Joe France, David Dean, Tori X, Aiden Harris, Rounded Tic Tac, Death Grip, Nilek Dreams, X Samantha, and Enforcer. I've linked all of their channels down below. Thanks again for watching. Happy Chapter 2 Season 2 release day, and stay cool, geeks. Have a great day.